Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again, and today people, today we're here for another amazing episode of Kamen Gavv, episode 5. And in this episode we got a lot in this episode. We saw backstory, we got clarification on stuff, we got some answers to stuff, we got more questions to stuff. We got introduced to a new character, a new Granute character who gave like the full explanation of Shoma's backstory and stuff like that, and we got to see his dad in this episode, which confirmed a lot of stuff. Like, we found out that he had surgery on his body for, you know, his red Gavv to do stuff. Like, it's awesome. Like, we're getting so much of this information really early in the series right now, and you know, they're establishing things. We're learning about all these characters. Like, we're getting so much information and at a steady pace. Actually, like, at a steady pace, we're getting a lot of our questions answered, and I am loving it with a nice hefty balance of some awesome freaking fighting, right? And it's dope. Gavv is just doing the thing, man. It's doing its thing, and everybody loves it right now. And I just hope it keeps up this amazing momentum. I hope it keeps up all this just awesomeness that it's doing right now, because we know that the first 20 episodes are already done. So now that the first 20 episodes are done, the next 20 to 25 episodes after episode 20 may just bring us even more freaking peak, because this show is dope, man. Gavv is shaping up to be one of the best freaking Braywall writers, man. He's getting up there, yo. And this episode, we found out that this guy who, well, his name was Dante or Bente, and this guy is basically, he's kind of Shoma's uncle. I guess he's kind of like Shoma's uncle technically, and he was basically like the surgeon or doctor that did the surgery on Shoma when he was a little kid, because Shoma's father told him to do it, and his father wanted him to be able to create minions and, you know, be strong like the other Granutes are, and like the rest of his siblings are. And now that he is technically, you know, they still really don't like him, but they did show how him and his mom were very much suffering when they were like in the Granute world. You know, we actually got to see Granute society. We actually got to see the people of the Granute world. And this one guy that just looked this one dude that they use as an example, he was freaking terrifying. Shout out to the people making the designs of the Granutes, because the Granutes are freaking terrifying. Like I would hate to see the one we saw in this episode. I would hate to see this guy at nighttime. Oh my god, he was freaking terrifying. But we got to see Granute society, and Lungo, who basically is like the head brother of the family. You know, he was scolding the twins because he's getting reports and stuff about like, oh, like, I wanted y'all to find a way to make a new system and stuff, like the new system for our, you know, stuff to work and stuff, and like nothing's changing. And he's like, if you keep this up, I'm gonna fire you guys. And he's like, my whole thing is to change the Stomach Inc. Change Stomach Inc. so we can rule over Granute society. So it's like, bro doesn't even want to even rule the human world. He just uses the human world as, like, you know, something to go get your resources from, like something to go get your main resource from. He doesn't give a duck about the humans, and he just wants to rule over the whole Granute society. Like, that's kind of like, is that a first for writer villains? Is like, he doesn't give a crap about the freaking, you know, human world. He just wants to worry about his own world and wants to rule that. Is that a new thing? Let me know down in the comment section below. Is that a new thing for the main villain, not to care and not to be really giving a duck about what the humans doing. He just worried about his world and what he wants to do with it. Is that a new thing? Because we haven't really seen that much. But yeah, so we see that Bente, I hope I'm getting his name right. I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode just to make sure I'm getting this right. But he basically tells Shoma about Boucher, who I guess that's how you pronounce his dad's name, Boucher. Yeah, he told him to give him Shoma the surgery, and he talked about how he got attached to Shoma. And yeah, he talked about how your dad did actually love your mom and stuff like that, but Shoma doesn't believe that. He's like, all that's cap, because his mom was always suffering. She was always crying. She was always sad and stressed out. Like, how could he love my mom if he was like this? Like, he made me and her suffer. We were always stuck inside of his mansion, and we never ever got to leave. So it was like Shoma just wasn't buying anything that Unc was telling him. But yeah, so he ends up leaving there. But Unc did give him like these spicy chips, which is gonna play a part later on in the episode. But yeah, so we also see what Hunto is doing, and Hunto is basically got a tip from old girl. I haven't gotten her name just yet. Was it Chica? I'm not gonna butcher it. I'm just gonna wait. But talks to old girl again, talks about, she's giving him tips and stuff on, like what the Kamen Rider is doing, but she basically tells him about what a monster's doing. And we did foreshadow a monster of the week in this episode, or like a monster like employee. He was basically like doing the job and stuff like that, and he's like the dude with a top hat and stuff like that. So we're gonna see him next episode when we get the debut of our secondary writer, but don't want to spoil too much for you guys if you haven't watched the preview. But yeah, so she gets basically like the tip from him, and she basically gives the tip to him, and he goes off to handle that, while his boss goes to handle something else going on in the city with like celebrities going to like this shady like bar or something like that. So yeah, so he ends up going to this building, and we see that the twins have sent out their agents, and we know that all the Granute family members have their own agents, and each agent has a specific color. So for the twins, I'm guessing their agents are blue. And we see that Longo, his agents are orange. Maybe they might belong to the scientist brother, Lie, but I think the orange ones are Longo. I don't know for sure yet, but but yeah. Also, we found out that Unc, the dude, well, I'm just calling him Uncle, but Bente, he was like their top engineer for Stomach Inc. and stuff, and their other brother, their science brother, worked under him, so he learned everything from him. But Bente came to Earth because he was trying to do research on humans, and he got attached to humans, and he got attached to all like human snacks and stuff like that, so he just never went back. I guess like he just never went back. So yeah, but so we see that Hunto, he does end up finding the two agents, and when he finds the agents, he ends up getting into like a little scuffle with them, and that's when Shoma comes to save him. So we did end up seeing that Shoma was going through a little like mental turmoil and stuff like that after he left from Bente's like lair. He just ran off and left, because like he says that what love was there between me, what love was there, like dad was just a horrible dude to my mom, and like we never asked for that, we never asked for that suffering, stuff like that. So he just ends up like leaving and stuff, and he ends up seeing a mom and her child trying to get the child's toy out of a manhole that fell in the drain. And we see that Shoma goes and he helps them and stuff like that, even though he's like contemplating on if I make these people happy, they could become a target thing. But he stirs past that, because he's like, I have the power to protect people now, so it doesn't matter, so I can make people happy, I just have to protect them. So after he helps the kid out, he eats one of the spicy chips and creates a new Gochizo, or a new minion, basically a new Gochizo, and he's gonna play a part later on in the episode. He's gonna pair with the chips. Okay, he ate spicy chips, so he's gonna pair with that later on. But yeah, so Shoma goes and saves Hanto, and while he goes and starts fighting the agents. Hanto gets up and he goes into the building that the agents were hiding out in, and he goes into their suitcases to find all the compressed humans that they had collected from the other monster employees. So he's trying to find a way to like get the wrapping off of them to like save them, and Shoma goes off and is fighting these two agents, and we see how the agents ain't nothing to mess with. We saw that from the last episode, but he's fighting the agents and he ends up using the new Gochizo, and basically it was a spicy chip, so it basically really isn't a new form. It's more just a power up, mostly just like a power up, and he ends up using it and making a spicy chips, which gives him fire. And he's using his chip form, like the potato chip form, but he has flame chips. He got flame and potato chip swords. I never thought I would say that in a sentence. Oh my god. But hey, this is Kamen Rider for you. So he ends up doing that and ends up using that new power up to take out these agents, and it was freaking dope. So after that, he goes and beats back up with Hanto, and Hanto is like trying to rip off that red wrapping on them, but then Shoma comes in and says, hey, don't, he's still in his rider form. He says, hey, don't force it, you could kill them. So you see that Shoma starts to use his sword to basically release all the captured people, and everybody starts screaming and everybody's hollering and all this stuff. They call him a monster and stuff like that. And then Hanto comes to his defense and says that, hey, he's not a monster. This is the Kamen Rider that's been saving you guys from the monsters. And he's like, right? He's like, and like Shoma's like, thank you. And he leaves, right? So Shoma leaves and he ends up going back to old girl's house, and she's kind of mad at him. Like she's kind of mad at him for like leaving and not telling her goodbye and stuff like that, which he did. I think he did tell her goodbye. Right? He told her goodbye, but he told her in like a letter. But that's not really a good way to tell somebody bye. Like leaving a note. Like, nah, man, tell me in person. We got phones now. You could just call me and say, hey, I'm leaving. But yeah, so he basically decides that I want to make people happy just the same way you do, and she agrees to let him stay there, but she's like, hey, just promise don't run away again like a puppy. So, and if you do leave again, let me know that you're leaving. Tell me you're leaving, you douche. But yeah, so Shoma basically decides to go back there and stay there. But when he did get there, he gets there while Hanto was leaving. He sees Hanto and kind of like hides himself from Hanto. He talks to him and says, oh man, glad he didn't realize it was me. So we're gonna get to that point where we're gonna get to that point where they know who each other are. Most likely next episode when we get Hanto's rider form. But yeah, we did also see Mr. Suga, who was basically operating and messing with the Gochizo that he had stolen from Shoma. So he was kind of doing it in kind of a crappy way. If you look around the room, you see like the blueprints and like schematics of like a driver and stuff. So yeah, he was like laughing while he was doing it. It was kind of creepy. But yeah, man, we see that Shoma decides to stay there. And yeah, but we didn't see Bente in the episode. I like Bente. I think I'm gonna really like Bente. I hope he doesn't die. I hope he doesn't die or anything, but I do feel like we're gonna get an episode where he's in danger and Shoma has to save him. But yeah, so the episode ends off with that the renewed employee we saw again in his human form. His monster form is freaking disgusting. Cool design, but it's like slimy and wet, so it's not gonna be cool. I'm not looking forward to seeing what his power is, but we see that he ends up going and finding Hanto's like boss / stepfather, foster father, and he ends up capturing him. And the episode ends off with him screaming in pain. It was kind of scary, but yeah, so next episode seems like we're going to be saving Hanto's boss. And yeah, that's where the episode ends. But this episode was great, man. Like I said before, Kamen Rider Gavv is doing the damn thing, yo. It is working, and I'm loving it so far. And also the whole thing about Longo trying to take over the Granute Society, stuff like that, and with the whole Boucher, Shoma's dad, why did he want the surgery for Shoma? And it seemed like he was kind of like dragging Shoma out of the room, trying to make him stronger and trying to do stuff with him, but his mom just wouldn't let him do it, and Shoma himself didn't want to do it. So I'm just wondering, like, why did he choose this for Shoma? Did he want Shoma to be like the new leader of the Granutes one day, because like he knows that the rest of his freaking kids are freaking crazy? You know, maybe that's the thing. But yeah, it's so much going on right now, and I'm loving it. But you guys, let me know down in the comment section below, what you guys think of this episode of Kamen Rider Gavv. Did you like it? Did you hate it? You know, what are your gripes? What are your theories, predictions? Let me know all that stuff down there, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. So remember to always say, stay henshin. Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, and all that good jazz, man. Let YouTube know that my videos are worth caring about. All right, see you guys.